Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Baptiste Orthodontic Stadium. Mark Barchi, the voice of the Mustangs, here with you for the second to last this is the final home game of the year for the boys team, and it is a reschedule from Monday. This game was supposed to happen on Monday night at Evans. Instead, it is here at Baptiste Orthodontic Stadium. We welcome the Evans High School Trojans taking on the Wekiva High School Mustangs as we get ready to wrap up the 2020-2021 soccer season. Coming up later tonight, we will have the girls soccer senior night. We recognized the boys seniors last week. Coming up at 7 p.m., we'll have the girls soccer senior night. We have 7 young ladies to recognize on their roster. And then at 7:30, the girls will take on the Evans Trojans to wrap up our doubleheader on a cool and crisp Tuesday night as a cold front came through earlier today here in South Apopka. Mustangs wearing the rugby-style gold and maroon striped jerseys. They are headed to the right. Evans wearing the green numbers on the white jerseys, headed left. Senior night has been a little bit of a source of anxiety for not just soccer, but all of our teams this year on account of the fact that the games have been so volatile. The schedules have changed many, many times, certainly in the 14 years that I've been covering sports here at Wekiva. I can certainly attest that I've never seen so many schedule changes occur in the same season. And that's been true not just with soccer, but with all of our sports. And so our coaches have made the same decision that a lot of coaches have made, which is not to hold senior night on the very, very, very last game of the year, or at least the last home game of the year, as they typically would, but instead putting it on the second to last or earlier. And that's what we've done here, is put it on the second to last home game for the girls, and last week it was the second to last home game for the boys. And that's just an insurance policy, just in case either team is unable to compete, whether it be for quarantine or any other reason. It gives you another option so that you don't end up having to cancel senior night entirely. So that is why the schedules have changed a little bit. Again, this is the Evans Trojans playing the Wekiva Mustangs. On the field for Wekiva to start, we have junior number 3, Schneider LaFleur, senior number 4, Victor Martinez, junior number 5, Luis Rosas, senior number 7, Lenford Grandison, senior number 10, Amir Carlisle, sophomore number 11, Isaiah Dupree, senior number 14, Kavoy Curtis, senior number 15, Tyler Geary, senior number 16, Alex Duenas, junior number 17, Connor Adkins, and sophomore number 00 in the goal, Joshua Zatrenis. So far, roughly equal time of possession, perhaps slightly favoring the Trojans on the Mustang side of the field. Neither team has taken an honest shot at the goal so far tonight. We're just about 7 minutes into the first half here at Baptiste Orthodontic Stadium. Again, this is the first of 3 events tonight. We're starting with the boys taking on Evans at 7 o'clock. We'll have girls senior night. We have 7 young ladies. You see their numbers painted there on the field. Again, that's coming up at 7 o'clock. That'll be on its own separate broadcast. It'll be on the same channel that you're watching on now, whether that's on YouTube or the NFHS network, but it will be on a different individual live stream. So we keep those separated for you to make it easy for you to find them later. If you want to come back and relive this event, whether it's days, months, or years in the future, you can do so. So again, the boys game, the girls senior night, and the girls game will be each on their own live stream, all on the same channel, and those are all coming to you tonight right here at Baptiste Orthodontic Stadium. If you're not already doing so, we encourage you to follow us on our social media feeds. On Facebook and Twitter, we are at Wekiva Sports. You'll get live updates from our athletic events as well as news and information about our athletes and alumni. Again, it's at Wekiva Sports. If you're watching us on YouTube, we encourage you to hit that subscribe button while you're here. That little red button will alert you whenever we go live. You can make sure that you get every alert, if you would like that, by also clicking the notification bell. And that will make sure that YouTube lets you know whenever we go live so that you don't have to worry about keeping everything straight on your calendar. We'll pause here for a substitution. Jamal Leonce is into the game for Lenford Grandison for the Mustangs. And he immediately becomes effective. He'll stay with the Mustangs. It's kicked away by number 4 of the Trojans. Ball will come near to the corner. In fact, it will be a corner kick for Wekiva. Their first of the game. Just a little over 9 minutes into the first half of this varsity contest. Good-looking corner kick, but it is blocked on the way to the Mustangs by the Trojans. And they're going to quickly clear midfield. Mustangs drop back. Mustangs in midfield. It's dropped by Carlisle. Trojans try to chase it down the other way, see if they can get to it before it gets out of bounds, and they do. The pass is not there. Shot is saved. Zatronis comes up with his first shot of the night. Oscar Ramirez on the throw-in. Pass to Leonce, and it's batted out by Evans, but Evans makes it go off of Leonce, so they will take over deep on their own side of the field. Mustang throw in at midfield, and it's off target. Bounces right back out of bounds. In fact, they're going to say it never landed inbounds, and so the throw-in is from the same spot. And now Evans has similar troubles on the throw-in at the sideline, goes back to the Mustangs. About 12 and a half minutes into the first half. I want to remind you, if you haven't already done so, to head over to WekivaMustangs.com and click the register button in the upper right-hand corner of the screen. We can collect your email address and or your cell phone number from you, and we will let you know anytime the schedule changes. You can tell us which sports you're interested in. You can tell us which types of alerts you want to receive, and you can tell us whether you prefer them by email, cell phone, or both. And you can change your mind anytime. We promise we will not send you anything that you didn't ask for. That's particularly important this year. As I mentioned before, there have been quite a number of schedule changes, including this game, which was originally supposed to be played at Evans on Monday and has now become a home game here at Wekiva. Taken away by the Trojans there. And the Mustangs managed to stop the damage before it becomes irreversible. That was Rosas that cleared it out there for Wekiva. Again, though, if you head to WekivaMustangs.com, you can see all of those schedules, and you can also gain access to that registration feature. We always want to make sure that you are here, or at least tuned in online, for games that are actually happening, but we don't want to waste your time coming to games or trying to tune in for games that are not. So by getting those alerts, you'll make sure that you're always on top of the schedule and the latest version of it. Of course, we also post schedule changes on our social media feeds at Wekiva Sports on both Twitter and Facebook. Tried to get a header to Amir Carlisle. It was a good idea, but the kick in was just a little bit too hard, and kind of a wild shot there from the sideline by the Mustangs. Oscar Ramirez is going to be an easy save for the Trojans. Mustangs get a shot on the board, though. One shot each so far, neither team having particularly strong offensive production so far, but we've still got a lot of game left to play. We're about 15 minutes in to the first half. My name is Mark Barchi, the voice of the Mustangs and Sports Information Director here at Wekiva High School. Taking you through tonight's game, I'll also be your Master of Ceremonies for the Girls Senior Night Ceremony coming up at 7 o'clock, and then we'll also, of course, lead into the final event of the night, the girls' varsity game against Evans. Duenas does the conservative thing there for the Mustangs and sends it out of the baseline. Live to fight another day. Trojans get a corner kick here. And a nice header from Carlisle will stop that action before it starts. Mustangs clear it all the way out, about 30, 40 yards maybe. And the Trojans take a wild shot from 35 yards out. And it's an easy save for Zatrenis. Pass to Carlisle, not there. Goes to the sideline, and it's going to roll out off the Trojans. Mustangs will get a throw in. Almost halfway through the first half here at Baptiste Orthodontic Stadium on a clear, crisp, and cool Wednesday night. This will be the final home game of the season for the boys team. Second to last for the ladies. Mustangs get pinned in the corner. The Trojans will knock it out, and that'll award a CK to Wekiva. A little bit of excitement at the net. Right back out of bounds. Another CK coming up for Wekiva. And this one is off the mark, going out of bounds. That'll turn the ball over to the Trojans. Possession has been favoring the Mustangs lately, although the Trojans have it on Wekiva's side of the field at the moment. Nearly halfway through the first half. And the whistle just before the shot, it's going to be an offsides call, so the shot doesn't count. Wouldn't have gone anyway. Nice would-be save there from Zitrenis. Mustangs not able to chase it down before the Trojans' goalkeeper gets to it. Carlisle tried to get there. Now passed under the midpoint of the first half, so you can expect a water break at the next convenient stoppage in play and change of possession. It almost happened right there. Trojans barely managed to keep it in bounds and in control. And LaFleur barreling to the rescue just before the Trojans can get a shot off. And a good look. Two shot. No, just one shot for the Trojans. And it is deflected by Connor Adkins. And that is going to take us to a pause. Ladies and gentlemen, we have reached the midpoint of the first half. And so we'll pause for an official timeout. We remain scoreless at the end of the first 21 minutes and 47 seconds. For those of you who are here in person at Baptiste Orthodontic Stadium, if you have friends and family who are not able to join us in person tonight and you'd like them to be able to tune in, you can send them to our YouTube channel. It's called Wekiva Sports. Just search for Wekiva Sports on your favorite computer, smart TV, or mobile device, and it should come right up. You can watch from home on your smart TV or anywhere in the world, wherever you are. Again, it is the Wekiva Sports channel on YouTube, and we hope that you'll subscribe while you're there. Dr. Andre Baptiste is excited to announce that just a couple of months ago, Baptiste Dentistry for Kids opened at his beautiful new Apopka location. You already know Dr. Baptiste for his outstanding orthodontic care at 3 convenient Orlando area locations, and they are now thrilled to offer dentistry services for pediatric patients in addition to that. That allows you to go to just one place for all of your oral care needs, both dental and orthodontic, all at the same place. Their beautiful new location that just opened a few years ago is right in the heart of Apopka, across the street from Kitland Nelson Park. Give them a call at 407-801-7775 for more information on Baptiste Dentistry and Orthodontistry for Kids. All right, welcome back to Baptiste Orthodontic Stadium, home of the Wekiva Mustangs, hosting the Evans Trojans tonight as we get ready to put a bow on the 2020-2021 soccer season. We just finished our official timeout for the first half. Nearly 22 minutes gone, just over 18 minutes to go. And Wekiva quickly takes over on the throw-in. They don't have anybody down there to help, though. Sending it over both the offense and the defense. Mustangs punt it to midfield on the throw-in. Evans quickly taking over. So far, the Trojans have outshot the Mustangs 3-1, but neither team has anything to show for it as of yet. Ramirez takes the kick from Zatrenis. Over to Carlisle at midfield, looking for help. And it shoots past his intended target of Leonce all the way to the corner, and Evans not able to bring it under control. It's going to be a throw-in. And it bounces off of the Trojans. So Carlisle have an opportunity to throw it in. Mustangs have a man. A little bump there from Dupree, but it's off target and no help available. It rolls past the baseline for a goal kick. Just about 35 minutes gone, 15 minutes to go here in the first half at Baptiste Orthodontic Stadium, the final home game of the year for the Mustangs. Trojans have a man on his own, getting trapped at the corner. Harassed by Osmar Ramirez. And Ramirez prevails, getting the ball to go out of bounds off of the Trojans. Mustangs take over possession and get the throw in. Trojans take another shot, but it's a softie, and Zatrenis easily handles it. And I apologize, I misspoke earlier. This is actually not the last home game it was originally supposed to be. But again, all those schedule changes. Poinciana is coming up for the Mustangs on Friday night. And in addition to that, Apopka was moved from earlier in the season and is now tacked on to the very end of the regular season. I think that's just about the last date you can play before the district tournament on January 28th. So again, coming up Friday, the Mustangs host Poinciana. And then 2 weeks from tomorrow, Thursday, January 28th, the Mustangs will host their crosstown rivals from Apopka. And that will, in fact, be the end of the season. Meanwhile, 4 more away games happening. We have Wekiva at Dr. Phillips coming up next Tuesday, the 19th. Wekiva at Olympia next Thursday, the 21st, and Wekiva at University a week from Tuesday, January 26th. And then there's also a game at Colonial, which was supposed to be tonight. So if you did inadvertently purchase tickets for that, hang on to those via GoFan. Those will still be valid once the game is rescheduled. We're still working on a date for that, but that was originally supposed to happen tonight. But it was traded for this home game against Evans, which was originally supposed to be Monday. The Mustangs will take the conservative decision there, clear it out of the baseline. Mustangs have a man if they can avoid the offsides call, which they do. And a spectacular collision near the corner. Evans comes up with it after the fireworks. Mustangs had an opening but couldn't get anybody down there fast enough to help. Nice looking pass there, but the Trojans not able to bring it under control. It rolls out the backstop. It'll be a goal kick for the Mustangs. 30 minutes gone, 10 to go here in the varsity boys contest. Again, this one was moved up to 5:30 to accommodate girls' senior night, which we're going to try to get going as close to 7 o'clock as possible. Realistically, it's probably going to be a few minutes after 7 o'clock just because one of the nice things about soccer games is that they are very reliable in terms of their length. Unless there's an injury or some other kind of major disruption of play, you can pretty much count on about how long it takes for a high school soccer contest. It's not like basketball where you have to deal with fouls and the potential for overtime. It's not like baseball or softball where you have to worry about how many batters it takes to get 3 outs. Soccer is pretty predictable and reliable, and so you know that there's going to be 80 minutes of gameplay, there's going to be a 10-minute halftime, and there's going to be 2 water breaks that take about 2 minutes each. So you add that all up, and you end up with a game that is right around 94, 95 minutes in length. So this game started maybe 1 or 2 minutes late after 5:30. And so we will anticipate that it will be completed right around probably 7:05, 7:10. And we'll transition right into the girls' soccer senior night. We will end this broadcast and start the next one. We'll recognize those 7 young ladies who are participating in their last season of Wekiva athletics and graduating in the class of 2021. And then we will move on to their game. Have to pardon me for a moment while I adjust the heater. It's starting to get a little cool. Getting ready to round the 60-degree mark. We'll be headed into the mid to low 50s by the time we leave here tonight. Trojans had a man, but had 2 Mustangs on top of him. One of which was Luis Rosas there, clearing it out for Wekiva before any damage is done. Rounding the 33-minute mark here of the first half. So far we have seen not a ton of offensive action on either side. Evans has gotten 4 shots off so far. The Mustangs have only threatened once. Good pass, and that bounces high. It was hard to tell if that was a direct shot on goal that maybe deflected off the Mustangs or whether that was just a bad pass. Either way, a good look for the Trojans. That is ultimately squandered, or at least temporarily. The ball will stay on the Mustangs' end of the field. Looks like it's going to be a corner kick once we can recover a ball.
That one is on target. Trojans pick up their first goal of the game off of the corner kick, and that gives them a 1-0 lead over the Mustangs with 5 minutes, 36 seconds remaining in the first half. Mustangs will avoid a repeat of the previous play as Atrenis gets there in time and dives on it. Trojans get the throw in. Mustangs will drop all but 2 of their players back to defend. Connor Adkins clears it away, but it stays in the possession of the Trojans on the next throw-in. Another out of bounds, and again it stays with Evans. Just under 3 minutes to play here in the first half. 37 minutes gone. Mustangs try to take over. Atkins gets it away. Excuse me, that was Geary. But the Trojans don't let them get far with it. Shot! Saved. That one taken, if I can trust the Max Preps roster, by Louis Chard Benjamin. Mustangs will pick up the corner kick as Herrera Vargas knocks it out of bounds. Just about 39 minutes into this 40-minute half. Mustangs have just over $1 left to work with. Corner kick goes directly to the Trojans. They clear it away easily. Adkins had the speed, but fell for the Trojans' misdirection. It goes instead to Osmar Ramirez, so it stays on Evans' side of the field. The Mustangs are going to try to keep it there. But instead it'll be Louisard Benjamin who takes over possession. About 30 seconds to go. And the worm burner is not going to get there. Easily handled by Zatrenis, with no one from the Trojans there to add any speed to that. That takes us to halftime. And with the single goal for the game, which I believe was by Herrera Vargas, occurring at the 5-minute, 36-second remaining mark, so that would be the 35th minute of the first half. That is the only score we have on the board so far. And it is a 1-0 ball game here in the Varsity Boys Contest. Once again, for those of you here in the stadium, we want to make sure you are aware that if you have friends and family back home who were not able to join us in person tonight, they can tune in to our YouTube live channel. It's at Wekiva Sports. Just go to your favorite computer, smart TV, or mobile device, pull up the YouTube app and search for Wekiva Sports. It will come right up, and you can watch from anywhere in the world. Again, Wekiva Sports. If you are already there and watching us live right now, make sure you subscribe while you're here and click the notification bell to be informed anytime we go live. Coming up later tonight, immediately after the conclusion of the boys' game, we will celebrate senior night for the ladies. They have 7 young women who are participating in their final season as Wekiva Mustangs, part of the graduating class of 2021. And so we look forward to honoring them and wishing them well immediately after the conclusion of this contest. That will be on its own separate live stream, which will be available for on-demand replay as well. And then following that, at 7:30, we will have the final event of the evening, the girls' game against the Evans Trojans. All that coming up tonight here at Baptiste Orthodontic Stadium, as well as on YouTube Live. If you're not already doing so, we want to make sure that you are invited to follow us on Facebook and Twitter. We are at Wekiva Sports on both of those services. You'll get live updates from our athletic events as well as news and information about our athletes and alumni. Again, it's Wekiva Sports on both Facebook and Twitter. And we also want to invite you to subscribe on WekivaMustangs.com. There is a register button in the upper right-hand corner of the screen where you can sign up to receive alerts by text, email, or both. You tell us which sports that you are interested in hearing about. You tell us which types of alerts you would like to receive, and you tell us whether you prefer email, text, or both. We promise we will never send you anything that you did not ask for, and you can change your mind at any time. But especially this year, when we have seen more schedule changes than ever before, and a lot of these schedules are volatile, we want to make sure that you are never wasting time trying to come to events that don't exist, nor do you miss any events that you wanted to come to because you didn't know they had moved. So we will be glad to let you know whenever that happens. We also post those on Facebook and Twitter as well whenever we have any schedule updates. Again, it's WekivaMustangs.com where you can get the complete schedules for all of our winter sports, and we are even starting to load some of the spring schedules as well. Speaking of spring sports, coming up later this week, we will have the softball team have their interest meeting and tryouts. That's coming up January 14th. That's tomorrow after school on Teams. You can email nyasia.griffin@ocps.net for the link if you are interested in participating in the 2021 softball program. Tryouts will be held next week, Tuesday, January 19th at 3 o'clock on the softball field. Coming up for the boys soccer team, their next game is going to be on Friday as they host Point Siena. Then coming up next Tuesday, the boys will be on the road at Dr. Phillips. Next Thursday, the 21st, they will be at Olympia. And then 2 weeks from Tuesday, they are at University. And then to finish up the season, 2 weeks from Thursday, January 28th, they will host Apopka. That is a change. That game was rescheduled from earlier in the season, from before the break, and will now occur on January 28th to wrap up the season. It will be here at Baptiste Orthodontic Stadium. The Mustangs host the Blue Darters. All those games will be live streamed on the NFHS network, where you can subscribe for all access to both regular season and postseason games. Baptiste Orthodontics is proud to be the sponsor of Baptiste Orthodontic Stadium, home of the Wekiva Mustangs. This year more than ever, we all must stay connected with our community and remain strong as we overcome the challenges that come our way. Dr. Baptiste wishes all the players, coaches, and fans from all of the teams that play at this awesome stadium to stay safe, stay healthy, and enjoy every opportunity that comes their way. And we are, of course, so grateful to Dr. Baptiste and his team for their continued support, not just of our athletic programs, but all of our programs here in Orange County Public Schools. For more information on Baptiste Orthodontics and all of its services, visit their website, baptisteorthodontics.com. And for those of you who are listening online, we're going to mute the sound for a few minutes so that YouTube doesn't pick up any background audio and give us any copyright strikes. But we'll be back in about 4.5 minutes with the second half of the boys contest here as part of our doubleheader with senior night for the girls in between. We'll be back.
Welcome back to Baptiste Orthodontic Stadium. Mark Bargy, the voice of the Mustangs and Sports Information Director here at Wekiva High School, joining you for the second half of the boys contest, the first of two tonight. Coming up right after the conclusion of this game, we'll be celebrating 7 young ladies from the girls' senior class of 2021, and then we'll finish off the night at about 7:30 with their game. And we are underway. First half, 6 shots for the Trojans, 1 for the Mustangs. Of those, just 1 connected for the Trojans. And while I don't have their roster, if we rely on Max Preps, we've got Rogelio Herrera Vargas was responsible for that one. That happened at the 35-minute mark, just about, of the first half, and that is the only offensive production we've seen so far that converted. Mustangs had some good looks. Midway through the first half, there was a period of time between probably about the 15th and 25th minute of the first half where possession was very strongly favoring the Mustangs. They kept pressure up on Evans, got a few corner kicks in, but then ran out of gas as time started to expire on the first half, and Evans was able to capitalize just once. Still a close game, though. Mustangs trying to end the season on a high note here in this game that was originally supposed to take place on Monday, but it was supposed to be at Evans, and that game was moved to tonight and is now a home game here at Baptiste Orthodontic Stadium. Deflected by the Mustangs. Kick from Herrera Vargas. And Victor Martinez will chase it to the sideline, and the Mustangs will clear it out. Of course, we changed direction at half, so the Mustangs are now headed to the left, wearing those rugby-style maroon and gold striped jerseys. Evans, the Trojans, in the green and white. And you saw in that last play, Connor Adkins knew immediately as soon as he touched the ball that that was not going the direction he intended, so Evans takes over on the throw-in. Nice strip there by Geary. They'll chase it to the sideline. Mustangs are able to keep it in bounds, but not able to retain possession. Shot is deflected by the Mustangs off the boot of Louis Chard Benjamin. 7th shot of the game for the Trojans. Nothing of it, though, and the Mustangs quickly get it back to midfield. Evans getting a little more aggressive in their offensive play here early in the second half. Pass here to Benjamin. Finally gets some help, but overshoots where his runner was headed. And the pass intended for Clovel goes out of bounds. It'll be a goal kick for the Mustangs. Shot wide left. That one coming from the Trojans, either Roland Dimson or Michelson Solitaire. 8th shot of the game for the Trojans. Mustangs get it to midfield, trying to keep it under control, but it's intercepted by Benjamin. Benjamin trips over the ball, misjudging the placement just a little bit. But DeGramond is there to the rescue. And we've got a minor foul that will turn over to a free kick for the Mustangs. Going to be taken here by Amir Carlisle. Leonce with a good look, but couldn't get any help in time, and the Trojans got there to take it away. Mustangs making a little excitement as we get around the 9-minute mark almost of the second half. Threading the sidelines, and the Trojans are unable to keep it in bounds. That was Dollins Clovel This will be a throw in for the Mustangs on their own side of the field. Goal kick coming up for the Mustangs as we officially round the 10-minute mark of the second half. Shot is saved by the Trojans, and looks like it took a lot out of him. And it looks like we are going to get a signal to hold the clock. Corner kick coming up for the Mustangs. Carlisle tries for a shot, nearly delivers a kick to the head instead. Shot by Grandison is high. And it'll be a goal kick for the Trojans. "12 minutes gone. 28 minutes to go here in the second half. Mustangs making a little noise as of late. Up to 3 shots in the game, the last 2 coming in the last few minutes. Putting some pressure on the Trojans. Some sustained pressure for the first time, really, this game. Trojans try to get it down there. Might have been an offsides call. Would have been close, but it doesn't matter because it's headed away by Duenas. Goes out of bounds, though. Trojans throw it in near midfield. Long distance dedication not going to go for the Trojans. Deflected and returned there by Escalante. Shot saved. Shot taken there by number 23, Johnston Rene, saved by Zatrenis. 9th shot of the game for the Trojans. Mustangs clear it to midfield. It's promptly intercepted by Evans. Clovel sends it back the other way, and we got a scuffle near the corner. Trojans come away with it. The Mustangs will chase it all the way to the sideline. Into the waiting possession of Lenford Grandison. And I'm not really sure where that was supposed to go, but where it went was careening off the baseline, and that'll become a Mustang goal kick. And a shot there from Clovel is wide right. 10th shot of the game for Evans. Another goal kick coming up for Wekiva. Now just over 15 minutes into the second half here at Baptiste Orthodontics Stadium. And we've got a player down. And we'll get a signal to stop the clock here while we wait for our athletic training team to tend to the injured player. Looks like a leg issue. Potentially a cramp or a strain. Judison DeGramman shaken up on the play, makes his way off with the assistance of our athletic training team, and that is close enough to the midpoint of the second half that we will take that as our official timeout. With 24 minutes, 23 seconds remaining in the game, the Trojans still lead 1-0 here at Baptiste Orthodontics Stadium. Once again, we are so excited to share with our partner in education and great friend of Wekiva, Dr. Andre Baptiste, that he has just opened a dentistry practice to complement the orthodontics practice at his new Apopka location. You already know Dr. Baptiste from his 3 Orlando area orthodontics locations, and now to add to that, we have Baptiste Dentistry for Kids. Right here in the heart of Apopka, you can go to one location for all of your child's oral care needs, from dentistry to orthodontics. Give them a call at 407-801-7775, serving children as young as 1 year old all the way into their late teens. Visit BaptisteOrthodontics.com for more information. Welcome back to Baptiste Orthodontic Stadium. Getting back underway. We were a little bit early for the second half water break, but since we had an injury timeout anyway, it was the opportune time to go ahead and take it and minimize the disruption to our schedule, which we have a tight timeline to keep tonight. Again, coming up at 7 o'clock, we have 7 young ladies from our girls soccer team that are members of the class of 2021. We'll be honoring them and wishing them well before the varsity girls contest tonight. That ceremony is scheduled to start probably a few minutes after 7 o'clock. Of course, it's 6:54 now, and there's 23 minutes to go, so that gives you just about all you need to know for when the girls' senior night ceremony is going to begin. We blocked 30 minutes for that. It will probably not take quite 30 minutes, so we are still hoping to start the girls' game more or less on time. It is scheduled for 7:30, and that will wrap up tonight's activities. Mustangs called with a foul there. It'll be a free kick coming up for Evans. Looks like Benjamin will be taking that. Nope. Will be Simon. Woodley Simon on the free kick. And as a direct free kick, that means he can go directly for the goal, so the Mustangs will line up to make that as difficult as possible. And the shot is high. If it had been a tackle football, it would have been wide right. 11th shot of the game for the Trojans as we round the 18-minute mark of this second half. Trying to get the header over to Evans, and it'll be an offsides call. Turns the ball over to the Mustangs. 23.5 minutes gone of the second half. Again, Mark Barchi, the voice of the Mustangs and Sports Information Director here at Wekiva High School, joining you for the second half of our first game in a doubleheader. This is the boys' varsity team against Evans. Mustangs hosting them here. And then we'll have girls' senior night immediately following this game, and finally the girls' varsity game at 7:30. Shots wide. Attempted there by number 11. That's either Dimson or Solitaire, depending on which version of the roster you look at. 12th shot of the game for the Trojans. 27 minutes now gone of the second half. Mustangs trailing 1-0. Goal kick coming up for the Mustangs. To be taken here by Duenas. Cleared away by Connor Adkins. Mustangs don't have anybody deep enough to take advantage, though, and it goes to the Trojans. And an errant pass is easily picked off for the Mustangs by Escalante. Opportunity for the Mustangs if they can find a path, and no, it is intercepted by Simon. Not a tremendous amount of urgency being displayed by either team in a one-goal game with 11 minutes to go. You see in the distance our senior parents and caregivers being readied for the senior night ceremony. Again, we're actually already a few minutes late for that. That was supposed to start about 7 minutes ago. This game started just a few minutes late. We always knew that senior night would start a little bit late because even though we allot 90 minutes for a soccer contest, the actual time is usually closer to about 95 minutes. But this game has had a couple of injury disruptions and also started about 10 minutes late. But that is okay. We should be able to get back on track because we blocked 30 minutes for senior night and it is unlikely to take the full 30 minutes. Trojans pick up their second goal of the night. The 32nd minute of the second half, they lead 2-0. Trojans nearly dance out of bounds with it, but manage to stay in control. Little collision there inside the box with Amir Carlisle. Once again, stay with us. After the conclusion of this game, we are going to immediately go into the girls soccer senior night ceremony straight away. Header goes the wrong direction for the Trojans. Nearly 35 minutes gone in the second half, 5 minutes to go. An offsides call there on the Trojans. Mustangs will take a free kick from just outside the goal box. A little scuffle near the sidelines. Trojans managed to keep it in bounds, but the Mustangs take it away. It's a short-lived gain, though, as the Trojans take over at midfield. And a lot of leg behind that one coming from the Trojans' number 4, Woodley Simon. 13th shot of the game for the Trojans. Goal kick coming up for Wekiva with about 4 minutes to play. Cleared out of bounds by Shaky Joseph. Occurs to me that Evans has a number of players who have last names that are common first names. They have a Joseph, a Renee. They have a Henry, Simon, Benjamin, all on their roster as last names. Mustangs punt the ball well ahead of their leading man. And we'll get a stoppage and a substitution. To the sideline, and diving to the ground is Leonce. He's a little slow to get up, but does so. Got a free kick coming up here for, looks to be Wekiva. Carlisle on the free kick. That's an indirect one. And too much mustard on that one as it sails over both teams all the way to the corner. And that'll result in a goal kick for the Trojans. That takes us to the end of the ball game, and it is a 2-0 game for the Trojans. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for coming out tonight to support your Mustang and Trojan athletes, or for joining us online on YouTube Live. Don't go anywhere. Girls Soccer Senior Night is coming up next after just a few moments to get set up. For those of you who are listening to us online, please remember that the 2 games and the Senior Night ceremony, each of those 3 events are their own separate live stream. So you will need to exit out of this live stream and go into the next one. We will see you there in just a moment.